Hello everyone, I Kuldeep Sharma welcome you all to today's session on 20 GK question. The question which have been specifically curated from today's Hindu newspaper as well as the Indian Express. So I hope before you go through this question, at least go through today's daily news analysis so that you are able to understand and get answer to these questions. So first question is Teesta water river dispute is a dispute on Teesta river between India and which other country. So we discuss it today only that Teesta river, Feni river are disputed river between India and Bangladesh. So answer for first is going to be A. Next question, during the 17th Lok Sabha, which means the previous Lok Sabha, which constitutional post remained vacant for the entirety of the Lok Sabha? So the post which was vacant in the entirety of the 17th Lok Sabha was the post of Deputy Speaker of Lok Sabha. So answer for 2 is B. Next question, World Population Day is celebrated on. So the World Population Day is celebrated on July 11th. So don't get confused by these dates. Today or on the day on which I formatted this particular question was June 24th. So just because I've asked this question on June 24th, don't think the answer is June 24th. The answer for World Population Day is C, July 11th. Which of the following office is responsible for administering oaths to new members of the Lok Sabha? So who is responsible for administering oath to new members of Sabha? So this particular office is created just for this single purpose only, to administer oath, and the office is Pro Tem Speaker of Lok Sabha. Moving on, what is the name of India's indigenous signaling system that also prevents collision? So very recently a tragic event, a tragic rail collision took place, and the rail involved in it was Kanchenjunga Express. And if this particular signaling system would have been there, this many engineers believe, or many experts believe, that this collision could have been provided, and the system which I am talking about is the Kavach system of Indian Railways. When does the President of India addresses both houses of parliament together? So we discussed this also, that at the beginning of first session after each general election. So just now the President Draupadi Murmu today only had actually addressed the parliament because of this election. And every year at the beginning of the first session of each year also, Draupadi Murmu or the current president addresses the parliament. So the answer for 6 is going to be D, both A and C. Moving on, in which of the following cases on issue of reservation did the Supreme Court hold that the reservation should not exceed 50% of the total reservation? So 4 important cases, all 4 are related to your reservation only, but the case which we are concerned with is the A, Indira Sahni versus Union of India, the 1992 case. Moving on, what is greenwashing? So we discussed this also. Greenwashing is basically when a private company is trying to mislead consumers by telling them that this particular activity or this particular product is a green product or is going to be environment friendly. However, it is opposite the case. So answer for 8 is going to be C. Next, India is among a few countries that have not conducted a census say 2020. When did India conducted its first decennial census? So what is decennial census? So decennial census basically means a census taking place every 10 years or in a decade. So the first decennial census was synchronous decennial census, took place in the year 1881. 1872 was a partial census. It took place only in certain parts of India. It was unsynchronous also, but the first proper census took place in the year 1881 only. So if you know the name of that particular person or viceroy who was involved in this 1872 census, so you can tell the name of that particular viceroy who was responsible for conducting the 1872 census. The 137th edition of the Wimbledon Test Championship will start on July 1, 2024. So the Wimbledon tournament, which is one of the 4 Grand Slams of tennis. Do you know which are the other 3 Grand Slams of this particular of tennis? Then you can mention it in the comment box. Now my question is, Wimbledon tournament is played on which type of surface? Is it a clay type? Is it a grass court? Is it a hard court, or is it a carpet court? So this Wimbledon tournament is one of the Grand Slam which takes place on the grass court only. So it is the only one which takes place on the grass. French Open takes place in clay, and your Australian and your US Open takes place on a hard court. Next, which of the following has proposed a law known as chat control to access end-to-end encrypted chats to prevent child sexual abuse but may cause privacy issues? So this particular law is being debated in the European Union Parliament, and if it passed, then the European Union or the governments which are part of European Union would be able to access end-to-end encrypted chats just like your WhatsApp provides for, and they can look at those chats also. Moving on, India has finalized the mutual logistic agreement, reciprocal exchange of logistic agreement with which country? So India already had this mutual logistic agreement with a different name with US. Now it has entered into RELOS, your reciprocal exchange of logistic agreement with Russia. So answer for 12 is A. In the 2+2 dialogue that India holds with various countries, which group of ministers participates? So this particular 2+2 dialogue takes place between the defense minister and external affairs minister. So answer for 13 is going to be D. What is the name of ISRO's reusable launch vehicle involved in the landing experiment RLV-LEX-2 that was successfully conducted for the third time? So this third time would be RLV-LEX-3. So the answer for that is Pushpak. We discussed this also. Who has become the first bowler to claim back-to-back hat-tricks in T20 World Cup? So in yesterday's match, only Pat Cummins became the first bowler to claim back-to-back hat-tricks in 2 consecutive matches. NADA has suspended Bajrang Punia for refusing to give test sample. Where is the headquarters of National Anti-Doping Agency located? So the headquarters of NADA is in New Delhi. So answer for 16 is going to be B. The annual Hajj pilgrimage in news this year due to many deaths caused by intense desert heat. So more than 1,000 people have died in Makkah because of the severe heat. Which country is responsible for conducting the annual Hajj pilgrimage? So this annual Hajj pilgrimage takes place between the cities of Makkah and Medina, and these two cities are in the country of Saudi Arabia. So answer for 17 is going to be C. Yoga Sutra are a collection of ancient Indian philosophical texts that provide guidance on the theory and practice of yoga. Who is the author of Yoga Sutra? So very recently on June 21st, we had our Yoga Day, International Yoga Day. If you remember, mention in the comment box, when did UN adopted or when did the first International Yoga Day took place? So you have to tell me the year of first Yoga Day. I'm sure you know the date now. It was 21st of June. The date of summer solstice, and in which year the first yoga day took place, and the answer for who is the author of Yoga Sutra. So it is Maharishi Patanjali. So today Sri Ravi Shankar has mentioned and has written an article in the Indian Express because of this question has been framed. So you have to mention in the comment box on in which year the first yoga day on 21st June took place. Next question. So which country is partnering with India to strengthen its cyber security infrastructure? So this country is also very good in cyber security. However, it is not able to fight the cyber attacks which is coming from Russia. India is also facing a lot of cyber attacks from China. So this country has decided to partner India to strengthen its cyber security infrastructure, and that country is Estonia. So for 19, the answer is A. Finally, the last question for today. Recently, which country became the first Southeast Asian country to recognize same-sex marriage? So recently, this country has allowed same-sex marriage. However, I hope you are aware that same-sex marriages are not accepted or not legally allowed in India. The same-sex couples have a right to cohabitate, basically to be in a relationship or to live in a single house. However, they are not allowed to get married in India, or their marriage would not have a legal sanctity. And the country in Southeast Asia which has allowed same-sex marriage is the country of Thailand. They have recently passed a law, and probably this would now be accepted in that Thailand constitution. So students, these were the 20 GK questions for today. I hope you were able to get some good questions out of it. At least all these 20 questions are from today's newspaper only. You can go and cross check also. I hope if you go and cross check, you are going to read those news also, because these are some important news. So these are the 20 GK questions for today. That's it from my side. Thank you and have a very nice day.